Good morning, folks. This is Dragon. I want to address something today. Oh, Dragon. My email is Dragon Speaks for You, number 4 and the letter U at gmail.com. And the videos are on YouTube on Dragon Speaks for You. I want to. I'm going to title this video. It's going to have to be in 2 parts. This. There's a lot, and I think. Those that are interested are going to definitely look for part 2. It might even go to part 3. Who knows? But this came to me in a dream, and it's funny because it fed me so much, and I didn't sleep that long. So it's kind of weird how that works, but. It was very eye-opening for me, and I think it will be for you too. But I think it'll be more so for the younger generation. The interest, the peaking of the interest, than it will be for the older generation and older evangelists and believers and whatever. I think a lot of their mouths are going to drop when they hear some of this stuff, because they're going to think I'm twisting the words or of the Lord or whatever. I've been accused of all kinds of things, but I never do that. It'd have to be I'm the devil and all this other stuff. But I never come at what I say in reference to the word with any kind of malice. So I know better. I know better. There's no malice in my heart or in my mind about it. So they can say whatever they want to say. But anyway, you may notice I've got a different boy here. My boy here changed his demeanor a little bit. Yeah, people, the other one, the other demeanor he had was too scary. He was scary. He looked evil. He looked, well, that's their perception. I try to explain what it is. It's it's the power, man. It's the power. I've had him all my life, and it's just, it's the mascot. It's the representation, the perception I have of the power, of from the Almighty, and it's mine. You know what I mean? Yours can be a jackrabbit or whatever you want it to be. If it's it makes you feel better. You know what I mean? I don't care what it is. If it soft little thing, so it makes you feel better about it. I don't know, but I know my power. It's awesome, and it's I won't demean it. So I give it what it deserves, and that it can be evil or it can be positive or it can be negative. It's just a power. It all depends on how I use it. So it's all up to me. It's mine. So people's perception of it, I don't know. You've done anything against me? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe you got some dark thoughts about me or something. Maybe that's what is affecting your perception of Dragon. But anyway, so this is a shocking revelation. Okay, we're naming this. It's going to be, like I said, long. So I'm not gonna do no preaching, guys. Okay, so don't be getting off. Oh, here he goes on the Bible thing. Well, I'm just using it. I'm just using references to what I'm saying. I'm going to go in deep on some between the lines thing on metaphors. You know what I mean? There's a lot of it that's metaphoric. It's a metaphor, and if people have different perceptions of it, but this is something I've been thinking about for years, different parts of it. But new stuff came to me last night and the night before, actually, and it just kind of I've been thinking on this for about 3 days on how to put this together. And I still don't have it. It's just a lot. So I want to let it just come. I don't have nothing written down. So you know that it's real. It's coming from me. So anyway, okay, let's start with this. We've heard about Lucifer, okay? Uh, the greatest of all creations, of the angels, and he was the greatest of all creation at one time. All right, you guys just stay with me, all right, and follow this metaphorically and uh, the way I kind of put it out, so that you kind of see what I'm talking about. See if you can stay with it on there. Um, so he rose himself above in his pride because he was such a great and beautiful being. He rose himself in his self, pride and ego and everything else to uh, okay to the equivalent of the Almighty, and uh, that's a no. So he got tossed out from his position, okay, and up to that point, he was the greatest of all creation, okay, and he took a third of the angels with him. Now, that's a that's a concept that's hard to look at, because you know, you figure how many angels could there be? You know what I mean? How many could there be? It could be millions, billions, billions and billions of angels, and he took a third. He took a third of them with him. Okay. So that makes me think, you know, how diabolical and how intricate his thought had to be, and manipulative this guy is. You know what I mean? I use guy loosely. Uh, I can say this dude, how manipulative and diabolical and intricate, you know, this guy is, to be able to talk millions, billions, into following him, right? Uh, from this, imagine where it would be. They're in this angelic place, right? They're positioned in their own creation. They're in this angelic place. I mean, so he had to talk him out of it, and he got sent. It says he got sent below. Okay, key word. Keep stay with me. You're gonna get watch. So he got sent below. Okay, he wasn't sent to hell. He was sent below. Okay, there's different words they use, Sheol and stuff like that, but it's you know uh, he got sent below. So that's the earth. Okay, and whatever it was at the time, you know what I mean. Uh, but he got sent below. So he became a contradiction, and they all got sent with him. They all followed him. So he became a contradiction in the Almighty's eyes, because he was this giver of light. He was the morning star. He was this giver of light, and Lucifer. You know what I mean? La luz in Spanish. The light. Uh, he was so beautiful and amazing and powerful. And the greatest of all creation at the time. Well, once he messed up, uh, he was made the Prince of Darkness. Now, another key phrase. Okay, got to keep these down, because I'm going to come back to them, and you're gonna see what I'm talking about. And it's just the food for thought. It's just logical. You know what I mean? And so he got made the Prince of Darkness. which is a walking contradiction. I mean, you know, they call you the Lucifer, you know, you're all about all this light, but yet you're the prince of darkness. Now, why is he the prince of darkness? You know, so where he got sent must be darkness, right? Which is earth. Think about it. Okay. I mean, this, just follow me here. Okay. So he rules the earth, and he got sent, right? He rules the earth. The Bible claims he's the Lord of this earth. Okay. So keeping that in mind and going back to where he got sent below, and he was made the prince of darkness. That is your realm, the realm of darkness, earth. Okay. Now we come along, it takes him off, because all of a sudden we become the Lord, the Almighty's masterpiece, right? The creator, whatever you want to call it, the source, the universe, whatever you want to call it. Okay. Let's not get on that argument. So we became the masterpiece of creation, which is an awesome statement, considering, you know, all the beauty and the immense and the intensity of creation everywhere we look, you know. But we surpass all of that, and we are the, you know, by the word, it says we're you know, the masterpiece of creation, and he made us all gods. You know, he made us all gods, little g. He made us all gods. He says that in his word. Okay. So I'm not going to state anything that's not in the word. Okay. I'm just reading into this because everybody's tired, you know, especially the young generation, and tired of hearing the same thing. Just read it and read it and read it. It doesn't touch them. It doesn't touch them. That's why they don't want to go to church. They don't want to, there's nothing new under the sun, like Solomon says in the word. You know what I mean? And they're bored with it. They don't want to hear it. Or maybe some of this, they'll start thinking a little bit, because there's more. Listen, people, listen, guys, there's more to you than just this flesh. You understand? You're too intense, man. You're too intricate. You know what I mean? You're too intricate. I mean, if you stop and think about it, how intricate are you? You know what I mean? You've got feelings and things that they don't even know. Scientists got a lot of figured out, but there's pieces of you that they can't figure out. You know, where does love come from? Where does it live in your body? You know, oh, in the brain. You know, where's compassion? What spot? Where's compassion at? You know, but they can't explain none of that. They can't explain in the brain either. None of it. You know, oh, it's a thought, it's a this, it's a that. No, it's a feeling. It's a feeling. It's not a thought. I don't think about compassion. I don't think about love. I feel love. I feel compassion. I feel empathy. I feel hate. I feel dislike. You understand? All of that's emotion. Where is it? Where is it? Now they try to tell you it's in your brain. No, it's a feeling. It might be, yes, the brain picks it up, but it's a feeling. They want to divert from that. You know, can't answer that. Okay. So it's bigger than all these great scientists and bigger than man. That's why I say, you know, my spirit is bigger than anything this world can tell me. And it's not going to convince me different, you know. And I don't care, you know, about a gathering over there or a gathering over there that tells me different. Okay. Because they're not going to convince me different. I'm not going to change my mind, and, you know, I'll deal with what I deal with. It's, you know what I'm saying? But if the day comes that I'm right and they're all sitting there and it's too late, well, that's on them. You know what I mean? What do I got to lose? What do I have to lose? I'm not going to walk the dark side. I've already been there. I've done it, played in it. It bored me. I did so much in it, I got bored. They're fundamental, superficial games, man. You know, even the intricate ones, man. Even the intricate dark games that on the dark side, all that stupid warlock and witches and diviners and all that stuff, man. The seers, all this stuff it's fundamental. It's superficial. When you get to where I'm talking about right now, it puts all that to shame, man. That's why it can't touch me. You know what I mean? They can throw anything they want. It doesn't penetrate me spiritually. It doesn't penetrate me. And same with you. That's what you want. You want to raise yourself and your vibrations to that point, right? So anyway, here comes. Let's get back to it. So here comes. He's ruling the earth, right? So here comes us, Adam and Eve, whatever. This is all metaphoric. Use it. Think about it metaphorically, people. Whether it's true or not, don't think about that. Just think about the metaphor of this. Here's the masterpiece of creation now, man, and the devil's. We got dominion over the earth, everything. All right, Adam was given dominion. It states in the word again. I keep saying that because I don't want people to go, "Oh, he's twisting the word." No, I've been accused of being the devil and twisting the word of God and all this. Man, I've been accused of all this stuff. But anyway, I wouldn't do that. I don't need to hide behind God to live my life, man. If I want to go play, I'll go play. I don't need to hide behind God to do it. A lot of people do, you know what I mean? And I don't preach that prosperity gospel and, send me money because I love God. And I don't know. I don't know. I got my own thoughts on it. Whatever. People can hate or not hate. It don't matter to me. But anyway, so here's the masterpiece of creation. The devil's ticked off. We're just going to use that term for sake of argument. The devil's ticked off. He's ticked off because now he's subordinate to us. He's subordinate to us. To this day, he's subordinate to us. He's our servant, if we deem it so. He's not above us. We are above him. We are above the angels. The only thing that makes us less is this flesh, not our spirit. We are of the light, people. We are of the light. We're beings of light, the beings of the light. So we were created not to perish, not to die. Okay? But Eve went and got she succumbed to the Eve succumbed to the by the word. She succumbed to the wiles of the devil, the serpent, which again, let's go metaphoric, okay? I think it was a thought. I don't think it was I don't believe it was an actual serpent. These are metaphors to help people understand, I think. But anyway, she succumbed to a thought. The Lord says you can have anything. You got dominion. You guys got dominion over the whole earth, man, over all creation, animals, trees, everything, all vegetation, everything. You have dominion over it. You guys are the boss. As one. Okay? She is the lesser vessel, not the weaker. She's the lesser. Okay? You are the head. As man, woman is the lesser vessel, not the weaker one. I mean, she's the weaker, not the less. Let me correct that. She's the weaker vessel, not the lesser vessel. She's not less than you are. Okay? But you are the strength. You're not the weaker vessel. She is. Okay? The female is the weaker vessel. We both have the same weakness of the flesh. okay? But not until she went and was succumbed by this thought she had. And I believe it was a thought because the Lord said, or the Almighty said, don't, you can have everything, but don't partake of that over there. And that, in reference to the tree of good and evil, okay? I, the tree is a metaphor, I believe, again, I think it's just the thought. Don't partake of that. Don't partake of that thought of good and evil. Well, serpent, again, tells her, well, or else you'll die, the Almighty says, well, he's talking spiritually because we weren't meant to die. And serpent tells her, well, you're not going to die. You're not going to die. He just don't want you to know this information because then you'll be like him. You'll know all this stuff. You'll have all this knowledge and you'll be like him. And so she succumbed to it. And here comes the apple. And again, it's metaphor. I don't think it was the apple. I think it was the consent in her mind, in her heart. That's what the apple is. I think it's her heart. You know what I mean? And the consent. That's what I believe. And she bit into it. She took it. She said, okay, you're right. And right there is when that's that bite of that apple, okay, metaphorically. It was the consent to that thought. She gave into it, okay? I want to know. I want to know. The curiosity. That's where that term comes from. The curiosity killed the cat. To this day, women are super curious. Isn't that funny? They're super curious. They gotta know. They gotta know. They gotta know. They gotta know all this stuff. But whatever. Yeah, that can be good and bad, so it don't matter. It's positive or negative. That's not the point. So anyway, so she goes to Adam. Takes this apple, this thought, this suggestion. Look, Adam, I went ahead and bit in the apple. I didn't die. I'm okay. Because of his love. Because you got to understand, this creature was everything to him. Until he walked alone, right? So because of his love, he went ahead and went with it. And whatever else, other reasons, he went ahead and went with it. He said, oh yeah, okay. But at first he said, what'd you do, woman? Are you crazy? What'd you do? And well, this is what I did. Check this out. And she explained it. He broke down. And he succumbed to her. And through her. Or he succumbed to it through her. Okay? So the Lord or the Almighty appears. All of a sudden they feel shame, guilt, all this negative that they didn't feel before. Because they were light. They were all light. There was no darkness in them. All of a sudden there's darkness in them because they broke the number one rule. Okay? So the Almighty comes to Adam according to the word and says, hey man, what are you doing hiding? Apparently they were hiding in here. Okay? And he says, well, we're naked, and we're ashamed and we're scared because we know we let you down. But he says, who told you? Who told you were naked? And this is where Adam messed up. Okay? This is where Adam messed up. You got to understand, he had dominion over everything, man. Over everything. He ran the show. Okay? This is where Adam messed up. And we still do it to this day. Okay? I mean, include me, all man of man. Okay? This is not the women. This is men. And he goes, well, didn't I tell you not to partake of that knowledge of good and evil? Didn't I tell you not to do that? And he said, yes, Lord, it's that woman you gave me. That's where he messed up. That's where he messed up. Can you see how he messed up? Can you see how he messed up? I'll give you a second to think about it. A couple of seconds. How did he mess up by saying that? He blew it right there. They might have had a chance, but he blew it right there because that showed that he took her over him. You understand? So you listened to her over me, and that's where he blew it. Okay? So they were kicked out of this garden. All right, whatever. They were set out upon the earth. So let's jump forward. Now remember, there's evil everywhere. Now there's evil everywhere. The animals didn't even fight against each other. There were no lions hunting antelope and stuff like that until then. There was no darkness. You understand me? It was considered a cage for the fallen. They just didn't have no power. You understand? Until this happened. They accepted it. They gave their energy. They gave their energy and their power over to the dark side. Think about it, people. To this day, that's still there. And the only power that sucker has over you is when you say yes and you give your power. He has no power over you until you declare it so. This is very important. He has no power. That negative has no power over you. Okay? That doesn't mean things won't happen because we're living in a negative world, man. Okay? We're living where there's a lot of evil everywhere. Look around you. I don't have to tell you that. Okay? But it's not yours. But if you step into it, you're taking it, you're rolling the dice. You know what I mean? Which a lot of us do. I know I did many times. I rolled that dice, boy, and I had to figure my way out, get my way out of it. But we learned. So it became school. You know what I mean? I have a particular person always ask me, how do you know what you know and this and that? And so, I always, my comment is like, all I paid attention in school. Didn't quite understand what I meant by that because I'm still paying attention in school. That's what I meant. Anyway, you guys need to pay attention in school because you're in school. School ain't let out. They ain't going to let out until now. Did you hear that fire up just then? That noise? Listen, so, okay, where was I here? Okay, let's jump forward now. Let's go all the way. People are running amok. The devil is running amok. He's taking everybody down. All kinds of things happen. There was the prophets going, and the prophets, Elijah and Isaiah and Jeremiah, all these prophets, going down, going through their changes, everything. All this happened. But it comes all the way up to the day of Noah. Noah. He built his ship. The Lord tells him, build his ship. The Lord got tired of it. He says, I'm going to wipe them out because the devil's running amok. There's no spirit. Okay? It was just a spirit of darkness. There was no spirit of the Lord. Okay? There was no spirit of the Lord. There was no Holy Spirit in these people. You understand? They were fighting on their own. They had no chance. So, the Almighty said, I'm going to wipe them out. So he saves Noah and his family. Well, they're made of flesh. Now, if the flesh is weak, apparently what makes it weak is this negative that was done from the beginning. That's what makes the flesh weak, because now we're going to die. The flesh dies. The spirit lives on, but the flesh dies. So there must be evil in it. Like in Corinthians, it says, Paul says, hey, everything I do that I don't want to do. And what I don't want to do, I do. All of that. We went through that. I had a video on that. So that weakness must be the darkness in us. Okay? Makes sense to me. It's logical, right? So when they loaded up the ship and all followed all the rules that he was told, darkness and his family, darkness went along with him because of the flesh. His kids, his wife, himself, You know what I mean? He was a drinker. He was a drunk, it states. He drank abusively, he abused alcohol. So, he wasn't no walking saint, as they say, you know what I mean? So darkness went along with him on this boat. Came to the point, everything clears up, everybody's wiped out, because the Lord got tired of it. He said, I'm going to start over. I'm erasing the board of starting over. They repopulate the earth. Along with that population, darkness multiplied. Darkness was repopulated also. Okay? Everything. You understand? Now, the Almighty says, you know what? This time, I'm going to give them something to fight with, because my creation has no chance. This guy's running amok. He's taking them all down, and they have no chance. They don't have the spirit, man. They don't have me. They're not snapping. Only the few that I talk to, the prophets, Isaiah, this and that, all the ones that he spoke to directly. He spoke to them directly. Okay, they got the stuff. Now they go out and speak it. People aren't taking it. I don't know what he's saying, This guy says it, the clouds are talking to him or something. I don't know what he's talking about. Okay? They're not getting it. So he says, I want to send my word. According to the Bible, I'm going to send my word in the flesh to them, because this is what they understand. They're not getting it from me. They think I'm a cloud talking to them. When I talk to them, it scares them. A bunch of them, they get scared. They run off. They don't know what it is. It's bigger than they are, which I get it. If it was to happen today and we start hearing the big old voice out of the clouds, I guarantee you people will be tripping. You understand? Picking up signals and stuff. People will be tripping. And there's people that are picking it up to this day. Hello? There's things that have come down, they're downloaded. You understand? Whether you guys believe that or not, it's happening. And it is, once you awake, but you got to do the work to wake up to this and to get your frequency and your vibrations leveled out. All right. So, he wipes them out. We're all the way up to, he's sending the word. He said, I want to give them a chance. They need a chance. They need something to fight with. So I'm going to give them a chance. I'm going to give them my spirit, which is called a two-edged sword. It cuts going in and it cuts coming out. That's a very deep statement there. Okay? The Spirit of the Lord is the sword. Okay? That's the weapon we have. And it came through Jesus the Christ. That's why he's called our salvation. There's your power. There's your source that you can use down here. And I'm giving you guys a weapon, but you're going to have to get behind it. You know, you can't and just say, "Oh yeah, here he's in my pocket. I carry him." No, yeah. Speaking of which, let me stop right there. I want to tell you. See this right here? This is a crucifix. It's called a crucifix, not a cross. It's a crucifix because Jesus, the Christ, is on it. Okay? I've run into many pastors, preachers, all this stuff. Priests, Catholic priests, all kinds of people, you know. And periodically I get questioned on it. Why do you wear that? You know? What are you? Are you a Christian? You're this? You're a Catholic? That's Catholic. I don't know what you're talking about. People tell me, "Oh, that's Catholic." You know, I stepped away from everything. All right? I can't be labeled. None of it. You can throw any labels you want, see if they stick, but they're not going to stick because I'll overcome them. Okay? And they come up with all this stuff. Well, Jesus is not on the cross, so you should just wear a cross, you know, and blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, so, you know, I wait till they're done. I wait till they're all done with all their lip. And these guys, they think they know something, whatever. You know, they're shallow. This is what I'm talking about. It's shallow. It's fundamental. It's superficial. It's what everybody's been taught. And I tell them, you know what? They think I worship this. You know, this is what we're worshiping. A lot of people do. They wear it because they worship this. I don't worship it. I don't worship Jesus Christ. I don't worship this cross. It's idolatry. In the words of the Lord, out of the Bible, this is idolatry. Any images you've got hanging on your wall, all that stuff is idolatry. How do you get away from that? This is what I tell them, okay? Because I got crosses in my house. I see a couple here right now, you know? It's where I hold it, you know? You know why I wear this? I wait till they're done with all their lip, and I tell them. And these are supposed to be ranking people in churches and this and that, you know? And I shut them all up quick because the Spirit tells me, you know, this is what you say to them. And I tell them, I want to tell you now, you done? I want to tell you why I wear this. I don't wear it to worship Jesus Christ. I don't wear it to worship the cross that he hung on, they killed him on. I don't wear it to worship the silver it's made out of or the gold, okay? I don't wear it to worship it. It's idolatry if I think of it that way, okay? There's one reason I wear it, to remind me. He was the example. He came as an example to life, okay? This right here is an example to me. It reminds me every day what I need to do every day, and that is die to the flesh. That's why that was his example. That was his example. He killed off sin when he died in the flesh. He defeated sin when he died in the flesh. And if you die to flesh, it says in his word, you must die to flesh, die to self, okay? Don't kill yourself, die to self, okay? Kill that part off, the selfishness of yourself. Otherwise, you cannot do your mission here on earth. You know what your mission here on earth is? It's not to get the greatest of cars and houses and money, how much money you get, and, you know, all of this stupid stuff, man. That how well you can outdo your neighbor. You know, it's a constant battle, man. You know, your kids are battling with each other. It's a constant battle. I got this better than him. I got this better than him. They don't say that to each other, but that they're playing that. It's a constant competition, man. It's stupid. It's stupid. For what? You got nothing. I don't care what you accumulate. What are you taking with you? What are you taking with you? Nothing. You're going out the same way you came in. You know, doesn't matter what you accumulate. That's why it doesn't matter to me. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It did at one time. That's how I thought. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get that. I spent $1 million. I didn't even realize I spent it. You know? And I started working on the second million. I got out of that, man. I forget it. You know, that rat race, that tax bracket and everything else, man. You become a piece of this machine, man. I said, nah, I'm done with it, man. I'm done with that. I don't need it. I don't need it. It's not necessary for my survival. Now, I got one thing I never had, people. One thing that's the greatest of importance to me in my life that I never had. And I could get anything. I could pick up the phone and have anything. You know, I could get it. Been there, done that. But I've got something that I never had. And I was fighting for all the time and didn't even realize that was the hole in my heart. And that's peace. I got peace. And there's people that hate me because I have peace in my life. It's amazing. That is amazing to me. But I have fought all my life for this. And I finally got it. I got peace. So it doesn't matter, you know. Nobody's going to change my belief. Nobody's going to change my thought. Nobody's going to change anything about me like that. It's, you know, I'm tired of giving when it's not where it's received but nothing comes back. I'm tired of giving love and not being loved back. You know, just bits and pieces, man, breadcrumbs, just enough to keep me around, to feed off my energy. You know, I'm tired of being disrespected. I'm tired of not being seen as who I am. I'm a child of God, man. You know, I'm a child of God. I'm a powerful man. I've built 3 worlds in my life, man. I want to build another one. I'm building another one. Each one is bigger and bigger than the last. You know, just because you weren't there on the last one and you're telling me this is it? Nah, you don't know what I am. You think you know me. You know, it's ridiculous. And that's what goes for all of you people. You know, stand up for yourself. I finally got tired of it. That's it, man. You want this, you're gonna come right or don't come at all. You know, you come right and don't come at all. I don't want no disrespect. I don't want nothing shiny for the monkey. You can't give me anything. You understand? You can't give me anything if you can't give me true love. If you can't give me true love, truth. You understand? That's all. That's all. At this point, I'll see it. You know, any move, I don't want it. I don't need it. You know, you can't entice me with all your beauty and all of this and all of that. It's, you know, cars and money and all that stuff. It don't matter. You can't do it. I'm not going to be sucked back into that. You know, it's a low vibration to me. It's a low vibration. I got everything coming. I got more than all of that coming. You understand? And I know it. It's already set in place. And this is what you got. The point is, people, use that spiritual power you have. Okay? That spiritual power. Because after Jesus, the Christ, died, you were given this power and you were made an heir to the throne. You were made an heir. Look, this is the throne, okay? You were made an heir. It's in the word. You were made an heir to the kingdom. All the powers that are in the kingdom. That's the universe. I know you guys can agree with this, man. You don't have to be religious or whatever you want to call it. This Christian and all this other stuff. Man, they put labels on everything. You know what I mean? You got to be a label on everything. Otherwise, you can't explain it. I don't know what it is. It doesn't need an explanation. It doesn't need an explanation. He doesn't need an explanation. He is what he is. It's the power. That's it. You call it whatever you want. Call it a bunny rabbit. You know, it may be a bunny rabbit for you if it makes you feel better. Oh, it's not so scary. Okay, make it a bunny rabbit. whatever it is. That probably scare you too. You're scared of everything. Quit being so scared of life. Quit being so scared of breaking away from the norm and believing something on your own instead of what everybody's telling you. That's the problem that's going on in this world right now. It's energies, man. It's energies. You know, the younger crowd believes this. The younger crowds know this. That's why I'm relating to a lot of them. Man, I'm twice as old as they are, a lot of them, and 3 times as old as some of them. You know, and they're relating to me, Dragon, man. Man, we get you, man. Like, we get what you're saying. And, you know, shake my hand and stuff, man. You're awesome, you know, because they're picking up on it. They're getting it. So how can I relate, you know, to a 20-year-old? I'm 3 times their age. You know what I mean? How is it I'm relating to them in such a way that they're like, oh, wow, you know, Dragon, you know, I get it. You hear what I'm saying? Can you do that? Some of you can't relate to your own children. You know, your own teenagers. And you can't, you think you're gonna be able to relate to this crowd, this younger crowd out there? As soon as they go out the door, you got no idea what they're doing. Because you don't know how they're thinking. Why? Because you're too stuck on yourself, man. You're too stuck on yourself and on what you're doing and building the home, you're getting the cars, you're building the bank account, you're building all of this. But meanwhile, your kids they're out there flying, man, building their own world. So when they come home, it's like they can't even relate. You can't even relate to them. They put in their earbuds, their headphones, they go in their room, and that's it. You don't see them till dinner time. You know I'm talking true. And then you can't talk. If you sit at a table, you can't talk because they're just like, yeah, whatever. You know, you can't. Well, how'd you do in school? How'd you do this? How'd you do that? You know, they don't want to hear none of that. They don't want to hear none of that. There's no depth. They want some depth. They want some depth, man. That's why I can relate to them, man. I get in there places where it piques their interest and they go, wow, Dragon, that's bad, man. I want to talk to you some more. You know what I mean? That's where you got to get, people. But you got to release yourself from all of this stuff, man, so that you can, open your third eye, man. Open your mind and your heart to, what the reality of what it is. You're stuck in the matrix, man. You got to break from the matrix. You guys think those are just words and stuff or movies from Hollywood, man. It's real. My son, my youngest son, man. When you guys heard of RoboCop, the movie RoboCop, the first one, RoboCop. When did that come out? That came out, oh my God, 35 years ago. My son, he's bigger than I am now, taller than I am, bigger than I am. Hell of a man. He come up to me one day and he's walking around the living room. He's little bitty, man. He was little. I guess he was like 5 years old probably. That was one of his favorite movies, man, when it came out. And he'd walk like that. And he'd make the noise, and I never forget that. I never forget that. Because that was so prophetic. That was a prophetic action of today. Of today. You understand me? That's what the kids don't want to be. That's what the kids don't want to be. I don't know if you guys are getting what I'm saying. But anyway, I'm getting off the subject here. Not really, but I am, But this, like I said, this is going to be in 2 or 3 parts, to tell you the truth. So, we're going to close this one off here in a little bit. So we got the power. After Christ died, he came back, and the Spirit, that's what he told him. He says, I can only be with you that I'm with. I can only be with you that I'm with at the time. But I need to go so that I can be amongst all of you. Well, they couldn't understand that. You need to leave. Okay, we got you here now. You're with us. But you say you're going to leave so you can be with all of us. We don't get it. No, they don't get it. They were shallow. To this day, people don't get it. To this day. And we're so intelligent. You know, we can replace almost every part of the body with extra parts. But we still don't get this. Oh, no. There's got to be an explanation. There's got to be yeah, there is. You know, pull your head out of your butt. That's the explanation. Try that operation. Huh? It's called an extraction. Okay? Make the funny noise. That's what I always say. Make the funny noise. Pull it. You hear what I'm saying? Maybe you'll see. You can't see in all that darkness. Can't even hear. It's all echoes. You're not hearing properly. You understand? You're not hearing properly. So, to get to it, he's with us all. We have the opportunity. We have the chance. He came as our salvation. That's why he's called us salvation. All right? He went and did this to defeat death. That's what he was saying. That was the example. He rose in 3 days. I got a whole thing on the end of this. It's going to blow your mind, probably in part 2 or 3. You're going to blow your mind. Keep that in mind. I'm telling you, you're going to love this. You younger guys, the younger generation, you guys are going to love this. And a lot of you older ones too. But we're building to that. Excuse me. So, it was the example. And he said in 3 days, you know, he's going to rise. So he rose in 3 days, defeated hell. He defeated the devil. He defeated death is what he defeated. And it says in the word, he brought back the keys. So the keys is a metaphor. Again, it's metaphorically speaking. He gave us the keys to hell. Keep our butts out of it. It's called salvation. But you got to do it in a certain way. We can get into that later. You understand? That's what he did on that tree. That's the reminder. And that's what I tell them when they ask me. It's a reminder that I have to do every day. I have to die to the flesh so that I keep my salvation in order. And it's a hard thing to do because we got to do it every day. Every day. We got things that are going to affect us. It's like mosquitoes in the jungle. They're constant. Okay? Use whatever you can to get off a net, a cream, or whatever to keep them from biting. But you're going to get bit, you know. We're all going to get bit. We walk in it, you know. You got that smell. You smell that? That's because you're walking in it. Even if you wash it off, you still got that smell on you because we're walking in it, people. Okay? It's the flesh. The only thing pure about you is your spirit. I don't care what kind of facade you build up and smile and you know, brand new suit or brand new dress and, you know, you're so nice and you're so sweet and to people and this, yeah, but you know what I'm saying? At home behind closed doors, somebody ticks you off, boy, all that rage comes out. In man or woman, you know, it don't matter. You still got that. And even if you suppress it, you got that anger inside. That don't mean you lost it. You got that anger inside, even if you suppress it and you hide it, you know. You don't be real. You won't be real. You can't be real because if it'll pop your bubble. It'll pop your bubble if you're real. You know? That's like people they don't like me. People don't like me because I'm real. I'm too real. I can sit down with a person for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and half of them are running already because it's like, oh man, this guy's bringing out too much reality. People don't want to see it. You guys don't want to see it. You rather let me feed your facade. Here, I'll pet your facade. They'll sit with me all night long if I pet their facade. Oh, you're so awesome. You're so this, and you're this, and you must be on and on and on and on. I got to sit there and spread the butter and the honey and the sugar. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. There's very few that get me. There's very few people that get me. I run into very, very few my whole life of anybody that gets me, man. You know what I'm saying? Truly gets me, that can see me. And even they have trouble, Well, I don't know what to tell you. But it's not because I'm, negative. So where's that coming from? How can the spirit of light shun you away? It's because that light shines the truth. And they see themselves. Oh my God, he's I can't be around him, man, because he makes me see what I am. Well, get rid of it. Get rid of what you are. No, I enjoy the darkness. I enjoy being an evil piece of whatever. Well, if you enjoy it, then what are you doing here? Go on, get. Go enjoy it. See how long that lasts. I hear you whining and crying and everything else. Well, it's your choice you make, It's a choice you make. So we got our salvation. You're either going to follow it or you're not, okay? You're not going to go ride the fence. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It's just not going to happen. There's no fence, people. There's no fence. It's funny to watch a person, how you walk a tightrope, a person walking the fence, walking the fence. Part this, part that. Look, if it's a piece of you, it's a piece of you. It's always going to be a piece of you because you're walking in it. You're walking in it. You're not fully spirit yet. But why are you so ashamed and carry all that shame and guilt with you, man? And anybody that points the finger at you and says anything, you take it. You take it and you put it sticks to you, You're walking around with the shame they throw on you, and they don't even have to throw it on you. You already got it in your mind. Oh, if I do this, what are they going to think of me? Oh my God, because I did this, what are they going to think now? Oh, stop. You're doing it to yourself. I always say a person carries their own shame. Whatever shame you're carrying, it's you doing it. Then nobody can put shame on me. There could be 1,000 people pointing their finger at me, man, trying to throw shame on me. Yeah, it's a joke. Ain't none of it going to stick. I don't walk with no shame, man. I know what I paid for. I know what I've done. I've paid for everything in my life and then some, and paid for some of their stuff too. To this day, I'm paying for their stuff, but no, they still want to point because they can't face themselves. You're going to have it. You're going to have it in life, but that doesn't mean you have to change up. That doesn't mean you have to join the crowd, because it's miserable. It's fundamental. There's no growth. There's no growth. There's no elevation. You got to stay there, and that's it. It's mundane. It's mundane. I like excitement. I like life, man. I don't have to be out partying and everything else. I mean, you can go out once in a while and this and that, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about in your levels, your vibrations, man. I can't live like that. It's, I can for a while, but man, I got to create, man. I'm a creator. The Lord made me a creator. I got to create. I'm not going to just sit, watch the grass grow to make you happy. That's it. You know. Oh well, go to work and make a paycheck. Yeah, and then make you happy to make you happy. I'll do what I want to do. I do what I want to do. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna allow that control like that. You shouldn't either. You don't need to be controlled. You can do what you want to do if it's what you want to do, but let it be what you want to do. Not because you feel guilty if you don't. I don't know, people. It's I don't know, but I'm just trying to tell you. But I want to close this out, and we're going to go on part 2, and this is probably going to part 3, but it's going to get even better. Okay, so look for that because it's going to get even better. I'm just getting the fundamentals to tell you the truth. But we're going to get intricate on this thing. Uh, it's going to come to a whole different outlook, man. And I think you're really going to enjoy it. I think some of you are really it's all going to open some eyes, and it's going to be a fresh thought. Okay. It's going to be a fresh thought. It's not of the old. This is the amazing thing. I'm using the old to bring you a fresh thought. Okay. And still, it's the old. I'm not changing it up. I'm just giving you an in-depth look at a very possible scenario. Okay. So where do we leave off? Where are we at? Christ, he came, the Holy Spirit. I want to have to make a note of that so I don't forget. And now he's with us all. Okay. Now salvation is with us all, and we have the opportunity to take it or not. All right. So from there, we're going to get into now we're going to analyze this in a different way. The death and his crucifixion and all of that, we're going to analyze it in a very different way. It's going to be quite interesting. I want to give you this. This is what that dream come about with. I mean, that's what it brought to me. And it's going to get in depth, okay? And I hate to do this, but I gotta do this in it's going to probably be in 3 parts. So stay with it, and we'll see how it goes. Okay. Again, look that up, see what that means from Dragon.